Hi folks, it's Mark here again. Going to do another video in my record collection and records that I've bought. Before I actually dive into the records, I'm actually really excited about a record that I bought last week. There's a deep funk band based in St. Petersburg, Russia. They're called the Soul Surfers, and last year they released a 7-inch single, limited to only 500 pressings, of one of their songs called Soul Power, and it's a phenomenal record, really heavy, deep funk. And I tried to get a copy, but obviously limited to 500 pressings, it was very difficult, and I didn't manage to get one. So I added it to all of my want lists on Discogs and Music Stack and Juno Records and all the record stores and online dealerships that I have accounts with. And a couple of weeks ago I got a message from Discogs saying there were new items on my want list, and to my great surprise, a seller in Russia was selling one of these 7-inch singles by the Soul Surfers, Soul Power. So I snapped it up as quickly as I possibly could, and I actually got it very cheaply. I've seen some going online for sort of £50-60. I actually managed to get mine for £17, inclusive of delivery from Russia. So I'm ecstatic to actually have just so excited to actually have managed to get a copy of that record, and also to get it at a very good price. So I'm just waiting for it to arrive. I have no idea how long it's going to take from Russia, but I've been tracking it online, and it's probably going to be another couple of days. So hopefully, when that single comes, I'll make a video, and you guys can see it. But as I said, it's limited to only 500 pressings. They're not going to do any more of it. The band only released it to promote their club night in St. Petersburg, Russia. So they didn't release it for any kind of commercial reasons other than just to promote that night. So yeah, really excited to have got that. Can't wait for it to arrive. Anyway, let's dive into me showing you some records. I'm going to start with some of my Nirvana records, and the reason I'm going to start with Nirvana is because Kurt Cobain today, 18 years ago, Kurt Cobain committed suicide, which, I remember exactly where I was when I heard the news, and it was terrible, and, had a really negative effect on me when I was a teenager. Just listening to Nirvana all the time, they were my favourite band as a teenager. The way that Smells Like Teen Spirit and Nevermind just exploded onto the music scene was exceptional. I'd never heard anything like it before, and they were my favourite band, as I said. And obviously, Kurt Cobain left this world far too early. He's another brilliantly gifted musician who had troubles and a dark life, and like so many others before him, he left us too early. He was only 27, far too young for somebody so talented to pass. But anyway, some of my Nirvana records. This is Nirvana's Unplugged in New York. I've been playing this pretty much all day, just remembering Kurt and the band and the great music. This is my favourite Nirvana record, because the studio albums, they showed how powerful Nirvana were in terms of the grunge rock, and how big and ballsy grunge rock was. But this really, I remember seeing it on television, on MTV, and it displayed just how good a band Nirvana were. That they did all their songs a great deal of their songs unplugged, and it really is, something about this record. It's a beautiful record, and Kurt's vocals on a lot of the songs are very vulnerable, and It wasn't too long, I believe. I'm not 100% certain on the exact dates, but it, unfortunately, it wasn't too long after this TV show and subsequently the music was recorded that Kurt kind of took his life. And I think, I don't know, with hindsight, I suppose you could say, you can kind of hear a lot of the pain in Kurt's life in the vocals on these songs, because his voice is very raw. But it's a great record. I love this record. It's the Nirvana record that I play the most. It's unplugged. It's stripped right back, and it's just beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love this record. I'm probably going to have to buy another copy quite soon, because I am really playing this so much. And then what I've got also in terms of Nirvana, I've got some of their studio albums. That's Bleach. That's In Utero, or In Utero, or however you want to pronounce it. I guess it depends where you live in the world. And this is Incesticide. It's just great records, great music, and for me, this is the music of my teenage years. So lots of very, very good memories associated with that music. Next record I'm going to show you. This is the record that I actually think, and again, it's completely subjective, my personal opinion, but I think this record here was the best record of 2011. It's by the Decemberists. It's called The King Is Dead. They are, American folk band. Not usually the kind of music that I would listen to, but I was watching Dan's videos. Those of you in the YouTube vinyl community will probably have seen his videos. He's a Canadian guy. He's got thousands and thousands of records. His videos are actually my favourite videos in the whole of the YouTube vinyl community. I was watching one of his videos and he had a copy of this, and I'd never ever heard of the Decemberists actually. There's nothing of the Decemberists in Britain as far as I can see. So I went onto YouTube and I listened to this whole album on YouTube just to see what they sounded like, and I just fell in love with the music and fell in love with this album. So I managed to get a copy from Discogs again. It's a gatefold, as you can see. But yeah, this, I'm expanding my musical tastes, I guess, and the YouTube vinyl community is helping me to do so. As I said, Dan in Canada had this, and it was really his kind of recommendation and showing the record that made me listen to it and go out and get it. And I'm so glad that I took the time and trouble to check it out on YouTube, because this absolutely my favourite record of last year by an absolute mile. I am playing this record to death. I can't recommend it to you highly enough. So if you've never heard of the Decemberists and you haven't heard this record, go onto YouTube. Somebody has very kindly posted the entire album. Give it a listen, because I think you're going to love it. Next we move on to, well, I actually have two copies of this record. This is J Mascis, Several Shades of Why. This is the first copy that I've got that I haven't opened, and I'm going to not open it. I'm going to keep it unplayed, keep it in perfect mint sealed condition. I don't know why really, to be honest, but it's pressed on purple vinyl. I just really love it, so I've decided to not play it and just keep it in mint condition. Not even from the point of view of an investment. I just, seems a shame to spoil it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just odd, or maybe there are others out there in the vinyl community who do the same thing. I'm sure there are in terms of investment purposes. And this is the second copy. This is the copy that I'm playing, so really nice. Again, gatefold, and it is pressed on really nice looking purple vinyl. This is a great record. I mean, Mascis, you know, you probably know him more for his work with Dinosaur Jr., of course, who are a phenomenal band. This guy just seems to be so productive. I mean, he just seems to produce so much music, whether it's with Dinosaur Jr. or one of his side projects. But it's, you know, again, this is phenomenal album. Mascis, Several Shades of Why, gatefold, purple vinyl, beautiful record, really beautiful. Next we're going to go on to somebody else that I've recently discovered, and that is Bright Eyes. For those of you who never heard of Bright Eyes, this is really beautiful, again stripped back, very simple singer-songwriter music, you know. It's all about the lyrics and the singing and the simple, very, very simple music. This album is called I'm Wide Awake, It's Morning. Rapidly becoming one of my favourite records. It's not a new record. It was released in 2005. I've only just got it. But yeah, this is, you know, another one of my absolute favourites. And because I've only just discovered Bright Eyes, I managed to pick this up on eBay very cheaply. And this is by Conor Oberst, who is effectively Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes aren't really, can you call them a band? It's basically Conor Oberst. But he calls himself Bright Eyes, but he also does other projects, and this is Conor Oberst's album. It's all the lyrics for the songs. I only actually received this yesterday. I haven't really listened to it all the way through. I've listened to side 1 so far, and I can tell instantly that this is going to become one of my favourites and one of my prized possessions in my collection, because it's just sounds beautiful. I'm listening to lots and lots of just very simple singer-songwriter kind of music. Lots of Neil Young, Bob Dylan, Mascis, as we've already seen, Conor Oberst, Bright Eyes. You know, I've suddenly really got into the idea of just listening to very stripped back stuff. And I've always loved lyrics. I've always been somebody who thinks lyrics are incredibly important, and I do listen very carefully for lyrics. I love good songwriters and I love good lyrics, you know. You can hear one line in a song and it can stick with you for the whole day, and it can mean something to you, and that's what I really love. But anyway, I got this second hand on eBay, and it's completely, I mean, you know, completely mint condition. The sleeve has got a couple of tiny marks, but this, I'd say this has never been played. It was still in its shrink wrap when I got it, but it had been opened, but it looks like it hasn't been played, and it was like £6, so can't go wrong, you know. And what do I have next? Well, finally, this is some records by one of my absolute favourite bands, and at this moment in time, I've been listening to this band solidly for the last 6 or 7 days. This is The Doors, LA Woman. You can't actually see, you probably can't, no, I don't think the camera's picking up. You probably can't see the writing on the front of the LP particularly well. But this is a fantastic record. Their last studio album, you know, talking about Kurt Cobain earlier, how he passed away far too early, and obviously Jim Morrison Another one, you know, Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and many more. Just another brilliantly talented rock star who his demons got the better of him, I guess. But this is a great record. Last Friday here in Britain, there was a 1 hour film on a channel called BBC 4, and it was about the recording of this record, and there was a lot of footage that I'd never seen of the Doors before. So if you live in Britain, you know, and you like the Doors, go to the BBC iPlayer on the internet and see if the film, The Making of LA Woman, is on there. And obviously if you're not in Britain, you probably didn't see it because it's on British television, so go to BBC iPlayer and see if you can find the film that was on last week. It's a great film, lots of unseen footage and interviews with the remaining members of the Doors. But this album, actually, this has got my favourite Doors record on it. My favourite Doors song, which is called Hyacinth House. I just love that record. Most people, their favourite Doors record is, you know, Light My Fire, The End, Moonlight Drive, something like that. But Hyacinth House for me, just a phenomenal record, you know. So there you go. That's the Doors, LA Woman. And then I have 2 pieces of Doors vinyl that, again, they've arrived in the mail this week. I've picked them up from eBay, second hand. This is called The Doors, Alive She Cried. It's basically a collection of, as I can see here, 9 live tracks. I've played this yesterday for the first time. It's the Doors performing live, and wow, could the Doors perform live? They were a phenomenal live band. I wish I'd been around at the, you know, when they were doing their thing on stage, because they're just a phenomenal live band. There's so much power and energy and emotion in their performances. So that's Alive She Cried. And then this actually arrived in the mail today. This is the Doors Absolutley Live. It's gatefold. I haven't actually had time to play this yet, so as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to crack on and play this one. But again, you know, it's a double LP, and it's the Doors performing live. And I actually had, there's a CD version of this which I have in my CD collection, and it's a phenomenal collection of Doors live tracks. I mean, you know, it's just got every Doors song that you want on it. So, as I said, I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to playing it as soon as I finish this video, which is going to be any time. So there you go. There's some more of my records. Please feel free to leave any comments that you like, if you agree with what I'm saying, if you disagree with what I'm saying. And I think, you know, I think these videos that people are making for the vinyl community are really important, because, as I've said in this video, there's a couple of albums in here by acts that I haven't heard of before, and I've only heard of them by watching videos on the vinyl community. Dan in Canada, Mr. Hall of Fame, watch his videos, brilliant. Never heard of the Decemberists, watched Dan in Canada's video, said it was a great record, watched it, listened to it on YouTube, fell in love with it, bought the record, and thanks to Dan in Canada, I've now got a new band, and the Decemberists have released quite a lot of material. I can now go back and collect their back catalogue. So I think these videos are really important. So my videos may be a little bit amateurish compared to other people who are posting, but I'm just going to keep posting them because I enjoy doing it. I'm incredibly passionate about music, incredibly passionate about records and why people should listen to them. So I hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope my slightly amateurish style isn't putting you off, and I hope you continue to enjoy the videos that I post. So thanks for watching, please leave comments, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.